Hey y'all. Okay, so Meisner. I have been looking forward to this week because um Meisner is probably the teacher, the method that I have the most experience with, just because in my undergraduate years, the university that I graduated from, the primary method that was taught there was Meisner. So I told you before, originally I went to school for stage management. So a lot of my background is in technical theater, but when I switched to theater arts education, mostly so that I could get more experience with theater for youth and theater for young audiences. And just I graduated with my teaching license. I was able to branch into that side, those acting courses, and things like that. And it was a testament to the work that you have to do. And so, in the readings, of course, we've been talking about, all the acting teachers. One thing that the emotional truth, authenticity is, one thing that's throughout. And so, my focus is mostly on, I feel like, your surroundings. So, in your surroundings, how realistic they are, and what your interaction with your surroundings does for your character, and how that makes the character interact with the scene partner. So, collaboration, one, just like, the top thing here, in my opinion. That was my the takeaway that I have for this week. So, just okay, I'm gonna tell you about one of my experiences. So, in class, my professor, um, we were doing some scene work, and this is a 3,000 level class, and just what I remember, just to get into the scene more, to do more, I remember physically pouring water on myself and doing my prep work for an entire 30 minutes, because the scene that I was in, it was a pure written scene, and the setting was supposed to be rain, right? So it's just like I just came into the library from rain, it's like an outpour of rain. And I remember one of the things my professor told me was, put yourself in that environment, right? And so realistically, I threw like water on me, so that I could feel how that character would have felt coming out of the rain. And that, just to me, just speaks more truth of Meisner. And then I ended up I was so I remember having to throw the rain on myself and then come into the library in a rush, in a hurry. So I ran. I did some sprints up and down the corridor, up and down the hallway, to make it seem as I had just rushed in. And I think realistically, for my partner, that helped us in that scene, because then I was to sit down at the table with my scene partner. Um, and my scene partner was supposed to portray like an annoyed person with too much going on, making too much noise. The other person's making too much noise in the library, and I remember pouring that water on myself, like in my clothes, putting my clothes on, drenching myself, and then running up and down the hallway minutes before my scene, so that when it was time and I was called in, and so the way that it was signaled us was like through a light. And it had a sign. I remember it had a sign above it that said that if this light is on, your mouth is off. And so when that light came on, I rushed into the room in character. And realistically, to me, that's just what Meisner's method is. Emotionally, that's the emotional truth of that is what it is, because as soon as I started those lines, I felt rushed. I felt like I was in that environment. I felt like I was being true to that character. And I felt like me doing that to make those circumstances made my partner feel like I was being true to that character. So that was one of my whole experiences about the first time. Not the first time, well, one of the times that I worked with the Meisner method. And once again, it is emotional work. It is emotionally taxing. It can be, because it's a hard um, it's a hard thing to do. Of course, theater is just recreating the surroundings, so that the audience, you invite the audience into that world. But it's like, I feel like constantly we've just been thinking about, how do we invite that world into ourselves so we can give that to other people. And I feel like Meisner, um, that helps us do a lot of that work. That method helps us do a lot of that work, that emotional truth, because we do it for our audience, and then we do it for our partners, and so it helps ourselves. And then if our partner is doing the same thing, then overall it just makes the world of acting better. So I've appreciated this week's readings. Um, just another thought that I had was um line memorization. So how do I teach my students line memorization? That's always been a thing for me. Like my kids ask me, Miss Allen, do you know any techniques we could do or any strategies we could use? And I give them different strategies. Usually it's involving like handwriting and things like that. Like rewriting it over and over or recording themselves and listening to their lines. But I love the focus here of line memorization and how Meisner's method helps that. And it's not just rote recitation. It's do the work, understand the character, remember your surroundings, invite that in, and then the work that you do with your partner will help you to recall. So it's like once again, it's like muscle memory, and yeah, those are my thoughts for this week.